So you get the book, and this book will work with any of the experiences. Your imagination is the limit, you know, as to what we can do. But there are things we can definitely talk about now. Diggs, Walking with Dinosaurs, and we've also mentioned an association with Disney, and there'll be more information about that coming.
Nice. Welcome to Family Gamer TV. We're at London studio to have a look at Wonderbook and Book of Spells, and we've got Dave Ranyard here. So, Book of Spells is the first book for the Wonderbook peripheral.
That's right.
But there are others. I don't know if you're involved in the other ones.
So, Book of Spells, November 2012. Then next year we've got Diggs Nightcrawler, who's a bookworm detective in Library City. With a reading habit and a nose for trouble.
Nice.
He's a great character. We're working with this studio, Moonbot Studios, from Shreveport in Louisiana. They just got an Oscar for Best Animated Short. So really talented bunch of guys.
Obviously quite sort of groundbreaking.
Yeah, I mean, they're brilliant to work with. Too many ideas, to be honest, but loads of ideas coming out of them. Really creative, loads of fun to work with. You know, a studio definitely on its way up. So really excited to work with them. They've done great things on tablet, and then they saw Wonderbook and were like, wow, we've got to work on that.
Yeah, I mean, that is something that comes to mind when you see Wonderbook and some of the sort of the content on it. It's like that iPad experience, but it's popping out because of the nature of it. And I think that is something that I know our families who watch are familiar with the iPad, and it's potentially a nice next step.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just about absolutely bringing those worlds to life in your living room. So as well as Diggs Nightcrawler, we've got an association with the BBC's Walking with Dinosaurs. So again, that's coming for next year.
So I guess that's more of a grown-up experience, is it? Not to say
yeah, it's just, I mean, I guess it's for whoever likes dinosaurs. I mean, I like dinosaurs, my kids like dinosaurs, but you know, there's a whole load of people who do, and it's a different kind of experience again, and you can actually learn about dinosaurs through that product, and there'll be more coming to tell us about exactly how that works in the near future. Yeah,
so I guess the message is that you buy the Wonderbook, and I guess you get your first book with it, but then subsequent books will be cheaper. You're not going to have that same outlet every time.
Actually, so you get the book, and this book will work with any of the experiences. I think that's, you know, so one book, 1,000 stories. So we can, you know, for Book of Spells, this becomes a spell book. Walking with Dinosaurs, it becomes a book all about dinosaurs that comes to life, and you have dinosaurs all around you. I mean, really, your imagination is the limit, you know, as to what we can do. But there are things we can definitely talk about now. Diggs, Walking with Dinosaurs, and we've also mentioned an association with Disney, and there'll be more information about that coming.
Nice, we'll look out for that.
Yeah, so that's, again, something I'm really excited about. I wish I could tell you more, but I can't right now.
Yeah. In terms of actually the physical setup, so you have your space here where you're testing the book. In the home, are there limits in terms of how far you need to be away from the camera setup so it works? What's the sort of recommended space you need? Because that's sometimes an issue for some of our families.
Oh, so yeah, I mean, you can't be like miles away from it, you know, as in 3, 4, 5, 6 meters away.
Well, actually, the problem's usually the other way around. Is having enough space rather than being too far.
It's not like you need loads of space. In fact, less space than you would for most motion games on any console. You know, because actually the preferred play position is to have the book on the floor in front of you. So it's a bit like, I was playing Snap with one of my kids this morning, sitting on the floor doing it. It's like doing that, but with the TV.
Yeah, you end up on the floor a lot as a parent, don't you?
Yes, you do. Yeah. And you can use a coffee table or something like that. It's like you just make it convenient for your living space. But we don't. There isn't really a limit as how close you get compared to how. If you go too far back, then the book's too small and it's not as good an experience. But as long as you're in a reasonable distance, then it's fine.
It seems like you need the TV relatively low. If you had it very high, you'd be looking up at it quite a lot. Yeah, well, you could put it on a table if you want to do that. And then sort of kneel up at it, maybe.
Yeah. So it's just about finding the most relaxed position for you, I guess.
Yeah. So just sort of wrapping up, what was the biggest challenge about getting the technology to work and then getting the most of it for Book of Spells?
The biggest challenge. We've done a lot of work on really mapping what a book is. So there's quite a lot of augmented reality products and experiences in the world, but usually they're with very simple cards, so it's just looking for one particular shape.
Yeah.
We actually map the whole book, so there's a lot of detail in there. So just for example, you lift the pages up and you see these marks here. These are actually so that we can have the next page showing. So there's a lot of detail you perhaps don't realise on the first glance.
Yeah.
That to make it into a true experience where it really becomes a book.
Yeah, because I had a little go on this, and I realised that as you turn the page, I was turning one by one, and I was like, oh, I could flip back to the beginning. Did that, and it seemed to keep track. So it wasn't that it was just the page turn. It knows
exactly which page you're on, etc. Yeah, yeah.
And I like the feel of it. It feels like a book you got from Waterstones or somewhere, proper sort of pop-up book.
Yeah,
You want to open.
There's been loads of technology going. So we've got some super clever vision technology guys who work here, and they really have helped us bring this whole thing to life.
And does that come from the history the studio has with other sort of augmented reality games?
Yeah, I mean,
iPet.
Yeah,
and
and before that we did iToy Play back in 2004.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, we've had vision people in the studio for over 10 years, and it is definitely part of the studio's heritage. And you know, it's each time it's an advancement, and we've learned all these other things. We learn some more things, and we keep moving forward. So absolutely, it's part of our heritage.
Yeah, great. Well, thanks for your time.
That's okay.
That's really good. We'll be back with more Family Gamer TV soon.